Ladies.
Say hi to Sam Gordon over here, second row for our new beat writer for the Chronicle.
Hello, how are you?
Steph, how have the past really week been, but then also the past 2 days coming back together as a team and trying to press forward?
I mean, as you can imagine, Coach talked yesterday, Tune. Anybody who has an organization is very difficult times all the way around. Just, the shock of what happened and, the suddenness of it. So it was a whirlwind, 4 days really. We were stuck in Utah for an extra day and a lot of emotions, a lot of sadness. And then you try to find ways to carry the spirit that Deki had and lived every single day into how you move forward. And that's what we've tried to do the last 2 days, with the whole group together, getting back to practice and the routine of our season, and knowing we have to get back to work, but trying to do it in a way that saves space for everybody to take care of themselves and have the time and resources needed to move forward. So I think we've all been trying to communicate through it, and it's going to be a huge loss. It is a huge loss, and it's going to be a void there. You're going to feel it for a long time, but hopefully we can get lost in the game and move forward.
Over the past couple of days, a lot of people have told me that Deki had this innate ability to deliver news to his players, whether it was criticism, no matter how heavy it was, in a jovial way that was always kind of well received, even if it was uncomfortable criticism. I guess just over the past 2 years, how have you noticed his relationships with some of his players, especially some of the big men that he's coached on this roster?
Yeah, their stories, the way that they explain, their relationship with Deki, what I've experienced in our conversations, and every time you talk to him, it's a presence that is loud, even though it might not be with words. It's a smile, it's a hug, it's just a lighthearted nature. And then when it comes to coaching, to have that personality, that energy, and to be able to relate to guys where you can be honest and do everything you just said, give praise, criticism, direction, legit coaching. That's the art of a great coach, whether you're a head coach. I know you had experience over in Serbia and as an assistant here. So even as an offensive-minded guy, we've had plenty of conversations around what he sees from a play call perspective or different schemes that can help us and help me, see the game. And he's very direct, but it's with a lighthearted and kind of passionate point of view, but it's fun, and he understands that this is basketball, and that's what he loves, is basketball mind, and I think that that's who he was.
Steph, have you given any thought of what it's going to be like tomorrow when you guys have a nice pregame tribute for him before tip-off?
Yeah, I don't really. All the energy's been more towards staying in the moment and doing kind of what I said of trying to approach these last 2 days with the right mindset to get yourself ready physically, mentally to go play. Saw what they did in Serbia yesterday with the game that took place over there with his two former teams, and just watching that, I can't imagine what it would have been like to been in the building for that energy and that celebration. And I think that was a good primer for the ways that we want to, honor and celebrate him. And the challenge of trying to take your mind there to, talk about him, think about him, see images and videos and all that, and hear his name, and that's great. You want to keep his presence alive. But to then turn the page to playing basketball. Like I said, I hope we can just get lost in the game and have fun, doing what we love to do.
How's it been for you personally, towing the line between experiencing this trauma, getting over grieving and mourning, with being a leader and leading everyone out of this eventually?
It's not hard. I think we form a brotherhood with all the guys in the locker room to be able to have those tough conversations, and again bring a positive spirit, if you could, to again celebrating him, what he meant to all of us, and trying to move forward. But really, not much needs to be said. It's just we all understand what's going on, and everybody's trying to comprehend it if you can, as best you can, and get yourself in a place mentally where you can, again, just go out and play basketball. And I think, thankfully, the schedule has helped us, where we had those initial days it's been really hard to play, those first 3 days, just being, completely honest. So I think that definitely helped, that, to let things settle as best you can and then be able to move forward.
Steph, obviously a lot's going on right now, but just from a basketball standpoint, how do you kind of view the next couple weeks, and what are you trying to get out of them?
Honestly, I'm only worried about tomorrow. I know it's not the answer you're looking for, but it's really just you don't need any more reminders of what's not promised in the future, and for us to just be able to play a basketball game tomorrow, try to compete, try to win, try to execute the things that for a big picture, we've struggled with all year, with our defensive execution, getting an identity of how we are going to win games. So we have to remind ourselves of that mission as we go forward with the next stretch of the schedule, but really it's just about tomorrow, and can we go get a win and enjoy ourselves, because I think we deserve that.
Appreciate that.
Hey, Trace, condolences for all you guys have been going through the past couple of days. I'm sure it's been a lot to process, I guess. Just what have your emotions been over the last 6 days, and, what was your relationship like with Deki?
Me and Deki, we started building a great relationship. I mean, at the beginning of the year, I was up and down between the G League and here, and then probably the last 2 months when I started to play more, getting to work with him, Coach Ron, Loon, Dario, and just always seeing his smile on his face, and just how he was, always just bringing light to the room. I'm going to miss him dearly.
Through the however many months into the season we are, and the months that you worked with him, what's the biggest thing that you learned from him?
I've learned a lot from him in just a little time that I got to work with him. He was huge on just angles and rebounding, getting into guys, stuff of that nature, just trying to make it easier for us, and then Loon's been helping me as well. But yeah, just those things, just rebounding, where to get the ball at, stuff like that.
Do you have a grasp on how big his mark was on the game of basketball, really worldwide?
Honestly, I can tell you I did not. I knew he played overseas a little bit, but not to that mark. He was inspirational, like watching that the game with Megan and the other team that he played for. It was so awesome to see, just all the crowd and just how much that it meant to them, and how much he meant is huge.
Do you feel like getting back out there and playing could be, therapeutic in a way? And has there been times in your life before when basketball has provided therapy or an outlet, during a tough time?
Absolutely. I think that just basketball is kind of a getaway, and that's kind of what Coach Kerr was preaching. Us as an organization, we've been really tight-knit and together these last few days, and then on the court, just continuing that bond and just playing together, playing hard, and just knowing that's what he would want.
How do you guys feel from a conditioning standpoint after the time off? How do you feel? You ready to get back out there?
I think our conditioning's good. I mean, we're pretty solid athletes, I would say. So 4 or 5 days off isn't going to kill us. We had our first official practice yesterday, but we played open gym before that, and everyone felt good. So it was good to get back out there.
Obviously, there's a lot going on right now, but with the trade deadline only a couple weeks away, what's kind of the key as a young guy to tuning out some of that chatter?
At the end of the day, it is what it is. That's above my pay grade to know what's going on. So I'm just going to continue to play as hard as I can when I'm on the court, and whatever happens, happens.
What was it like for you, like in practice the last few days? I'm assuming when you worked with Dehan, he was the guy always feeding you the ball and all that. You just feel like it's going to take a while to get used to the other coaches having to fill in for him?
Oh, absolutely. He was huge for us, and the amount that I learned in just that little time, and how particular he is about things, and how he wants things a certain way. It's going to take a lot to get used to not having him around. But I know the coaches and Loon learned a lot from him. So being able to learn from them and have Deki's teachings through them will help a lot.
And as a quick follow-up, I guess I imagine it's going to be pretty emotional for you guys tomorrow when you the pregame for him before the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting to honor him, I think it's going to be great, and just being able to get out there and see all that he's done and pay tribute to him and what he's done for the organization is going to be huge.
Thank you.